Welcome to Quilting with Mary Beth and Donna. Today the girls talk about Quilt Week in Paducah and the benefits of quilt shows. Glad you're here with us today. Hello, Mary Beth.
Hello, Donna.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm here.
Great.
Friday
Oh, it's been a week. Huh?
afternoon. Friday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yay.
Yes, this has been a week. This is and I don't want to say it's 1 week a month, but there's usually 1 week a month where I have like 42 meetings. And so I had,
Um,
let's see, Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday. So I had 6 meetings this week.
wow.
So I know I'm exhausted.
I guess I can't think that much.
Just so I'm just so popular. I'm just so popular. Okay, so what's going on in your world
Oh,
non-quilting?
non-quilting. Okay. Well, I just kind of hung out this week. I came in the quilt studio to straighten it up, and I can walk through it now. And I did uncover my embroidery machine so I can see it, and it really still works and all that jazz, but I haven't done anything. So,
Well,
unquilting
that USB stick kinda took you for a loop.
kinda took the winds right out of my sail. I'm
Mm,
not I haven't ever had to unzip a file. No, I mean, even in the workforce and, all that stuff, I've never had to do it. I think I've heard of it, of course, but, for me personally, I've never had to unzip one, so that was a process, and I plan to try not to ever buy another, embroidery pattern that comes as a zip program.
is this the, for the towels?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Little
I guess
birds.
it's with yeah.
'Cause, I did the Tula pink, flamingo embroidery, and all I had to do was go to the site, download it, buy it, and then take it from my account onto the USB stick or download it to my computer onto the USB and into my machine, and it worked fine.
It was probably because there were multiple images
Yeah.
that
I don't know.
yeah.
Hers is, very detailed, a lot of thread and a lot of
Yeah,
chain,
yeah, yeah.
but it didn't yeah, it might have been from different
Different was it from a different group or
company,
something?
everything,
'Cause
yeah. Oh,
the AP the not AP, computerized, um, program designs
yeah.
all come zipped, but you get every single one of them. So you've got
Oh, I
like,
see.
all the different types of files and everything,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
whatevs.
yeah. Well, hopefully, if I ever buy another one or ever have to unzip another one, I'll remember what we did, but, it's gonna be a long time from now, so hopefully I can remember what I did to get it onto the
Maybe
USB stick.
maybe you
Yeah.
could write it down.
So that threw me for a loop. Yeah, wouldn't that be something special just to write it down? I'm so old-fashioned. So anyway, that threw me for a loop. Then I'm walking into the shop yesterday to have them help me, and I walk in and my purse is like how when your purse is on your shoulder and it's, like, pulling on your shirt?
Yeah.
It felt like my shirt was on backwards, like it was choking me up here. So, as soon as I open the door, because I keep winning. I don't know how I do this. I need to play the lottery, but I don't believe in that, so don't do it. But anyway, I keep winning these drawings that they have. If you from City's Edge, if you share their page, like it, share it, and tell them that you shared it or whatever, then you
Yeah.
get your name in a drawing. Well, at first, there was only when she first started doing this, there was only like 6 or 8 people that did it, and I got the first one, and I was like, "Woo, I won." Then the next week, I won again, and I thought, "Oh, no, that's not good." Then then I said, "You know what? Take me out. I'll share your page, but don't put me in the drawing." So we did that for a while, and then I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I put my name back in, thinking, "Okay, there's a lot more people doing it now, so I won again. So I walked in to the shop and here's my shirt pull. Sorry. Sorry. Here's my shirt pulling on me and um and I'm going, "Oh my gosh." And and um oh my gosh, now I forgot her name. Amy says, "Oh, there's the winner Mary," like that. Winner, winner Mary. I'm so sorry. And and I said, "Is," I like a voice in my head just said out loud, "Is my shirt on backwards?" Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's
I
okay.
have such a cough. Oh, anyway, I thought, "What in the world? My shirt's on backwards," and her son's working at the counter, and there's a customer that I can't see around the corner, so she started laughing and she said, "That's kind of a family type comment. You're in the family now if you can make a comment like that in front of all of us." Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Uh, Mary Beth, you're too
Those
much.
those voices in your head though, they shouldn't come out of your mouth, but they do sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, anyway,
So
took
now
a
you're
few.
you're up and you're up and ready to do your embroidery.
Mhm, I'm just scared. I'm just nervous now about doing it, and I just don't wanna do it, so I put it off today and just didn't I baked, 3 loaves of bread you know,
Of course you did.
and
Um,
that's all I've done today. Oh, I
I
did
have a
dishes.
I have, I don't know if you know this, but I bought a used, uh, like 2011 top of the line, Bernina embroidery machine a couple of years ago because I just might need it one day.
I know.
And I don't know what they do differently now, but, th the way you thread the thing is just really peculiar, and you have to thread it right, because if you
Oh,
don't thread it right, then, everything's gonna be screwed up. So,
right.
I've used it, like, twice, and I think one of the times it was threaded right. So I need to just bring it out and say, "Okay, we're
Yep.
gonna use this machine because it's stupid to have it unless you're gonna use it."
Right.
But then I thought it could be easier just to go spend the $1,000 to buy a module for my machine that I have now, so I don't know.
You're so funny because when I was talking about buying one, you're like, "Take mine, learn to use it." Oh, it's just not like that. Um, I went to like, when you buy a machine from City's Edge Quilt Shop, they give you 4, I think it is, classes. So, of course, when you buy it, you get a introductory little class where she goes through everything with you and shows you everything about it.
And
And
you
then you get it
forget
home
that.
and you set it. Huh?
And you forget that.
Right, you get it home, you set it up, and you turn it on, you're like, "Huh? What? I don't remember this. How do I type something in? I don't see the ABC thing." So so, there was that, so then I called and said, "I need a class." So, the classes are pretty cool because 'cause they're like, oh, Kimberbell, make a purse, in the hoop, and all that.
Right, yeah.
And you do get to use all the different things on the machine and get to see what all it does, which is so cool, that it can do all that. And then it comes home and it sits there, and I try to do a purse, and something happened, and, like, I had it for one size, and then all of a sudden it starts stitching a different size, so it went right across my purse. It was just things, just learning. It's just a learning process, but when I thought,
Yeah.
if I learn yours, I'll never learn yours, and then you'll want it back, and then.
Well, I don't know. And my problem is I don't have the patience to really work with it. If you want
Yeah,
something, I need it, like, 2 hours ago, and so I don't
mhm,
really have the opportunity to learn, but
mhm.
that's a me problem. But I should pull it out. If I had a place to really just keep it, it would be nice, but
Well,
it's
and 2, you have a business, and that's hard to learn something new like that while you're trying to get your
Yeah,
quilts
that's true.
quilted and things like that. So I get that. I get it.
That's true. So I've had the best worst luck this week with quilting.
Oh,
I,
no.
had a baby well, a little kid quilt. It was one of those, uh, Elizabeth Hartman dinosaurs, 48 by 48. She wanted it custom quilted, which is fine, I did it. And she had another quilt, it was Cafe, um, line that looked like the old English fabrics, but done newer. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, so she had two quilts. I finished both quilts and I was going to put the binding on them. So the binding for one of the quilts could have easily been it was the fabric was in the dinosaur quilt, but it kind of matched the fabric in the other quilt. And then the fabric in the other quilt, there was the other binding matched, there was some of that in
Oh, no.
the one, and then but it could have gone with the other. And so I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it and I worried about it and I should have just texted her immediately and said,
Wouldn't that have been easier?
but I didn't want to, but I wanted to act like I really knew what I was doing and I'm a professional. And so, I finally decided that because the navy blue binding was had the piece of paper next to it that said dinosaur, that went on the dinosaur quilt.
Mhm,
So I put the other binding and so the other one was I was just putting it on the front, she's gonna do the handwork on the back. So I put that one on, and I was like, "Wow, there was just only, like, 6 inches left of binding." I said, "She's really good to, be able to whatever, manipulate that."
mhm.
And then, I put the binding on the other quilt, which had Minky on the back, and I was doing all the binding on that one. And so I put that one on, and when I flipped it over to do the top, it didn't match at all.
Oh, no.
So I had to I had to remove 2 bindings and redo them, and then you have to clean it all up because, you've
Mhm.
yeah,
Those
so
strings, yep,
and then that I have this quilt, the quilt that I put together last fall, the block of the month that had the daisy fabric in it, that
yeah,
you gave me daisy fabric for it. I
uh-huh,
I'm was I'm donating that for a silent auction that we're having at church to support the kids, the mission trips.
okay,
And so I'm like, "Oh, that's such a cute quilt. I'm gonna donate that quilt, and I'm gonna call it, like, a picnic quilt because it's, like, 76 by 76, just perfect, square quilt,
yeah,
great." So
mhm,
I had it on she's all quilted and everything, I was getting ready to take it off of the machine, and I realized that the last 2 rows were very poorly quilted, so there was, it was easy undoing, but it's taken 4 or 5 hours to do that. So I got 2 rows done of unquilting, and I looked at the 3rd row and I've got, "Oh, dang it, I need to take that one off too." So now I'm in the process of and only half I think only half of the 3rd row is bad, so it's like, once it's really close, it's
uh-huh,
very hard to unquilt, rip it out.
mhm.
So I'm in the process of doing that. I told her I would have it at church yesterday evening. It's already Friday afternoon, and I'm still ripping, and then so, you can't what is it? No good deed goes unpunished? Is that
Something, I don't know, but
so I've been trying, it's just not I just haven't had a great week this week on that front.
well, you and your seam ripper have become good friends, it sounds like.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, not
Great fun.
not who you wanna be good friends with, but I get it.
Yeah, yeah. So I've
Well,
gotta finish that
my,
with her.
my Sophia legit kit, quilt kit is I don't know what's happening to me, but I was so gung ho in the beginning. I think I just want it to be done, and then all of a sudden, every month I get more, and I'm like, "Stop! I don't want any more." So I have to calm down and just keep plugging, because it's gonna be really
Yeah,
cool when it's done.
Yeah. I think, I have to, um yeah, I don't know. I know that I just got charged for the 3rd month, and I haven't even opened the 2nd month yet, and I haven't finished the 1st month, so
Gosh, I'm
yay.
telling you, the first month was easy. The second month is a little more detailed, I think. And, like, you can't tell what it is as you're putting these pieces together, because they're so different. And so I'm
Right.
looking at it, and there's like 2 gray pieces right in the very center, and I'm like, "What is that?" Because it's surrounded by all these all these browns and mauvey and then
Yeah.
here's these 2 gray ones, and I'm like, "That doesn't make any sense," but it probably will once I put everything together, but right now, I keep staring at that and going, "Forget it, I'm not gonna
Look at
do
the
this."
picture. Look at the color
Yeah, I've
picture
been
and
trying to
see.
do that too, but I don't know, I'm so scared I've sewed it wrong or something.
Okay,
Mm,
and so next week we're not next week, the week after next, we have our quilt retreat, and so now I have to figure out what I want to work on, and
yeah,
the smart thing to do would be to take Sophia and work on that, right?
it would be, yeah.
But do you want do you wanna waste your retreat?
I know. No, no, I wanna work on something that's got color in it. Because I've done that other paper piecing that I was working on at the retreat
Yeah,
in May, and it's browns and, you know, kinda dull. It's the Tim Holtz stuff, and there's no color in it either. Blue pops out ever so often, a little bit of orange here and there, but it's mostly brown. And so then I loved it too. I've only got 2 blocks left, but I'm waiting on that silly fabric. So, um, then it's legit kits, which is browns and,
yeah.
I just wanna say, "Gag, I don't wanna do brown anymore."
Such a great idea.
I know. No, and see,
So,
and then I'm
yeah,
thinking I wanna do that Camaro, but it's all one color basically. So I'm
right,
thinking, "Do I? Really? Is it that
yeah.
sentimental to me that I wanna do that? I don't think so."
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I'm
Got
thinking I
time.
wanna work on that summer picnic quilt. Um,
Oh,
that's
we
that's
could
pretty
knock that
cool.
one out. Could we could knock that
I
one out in
I
5
think
days.
so. Yeah. So, and it's cute and it's current, it won't be like it'll go in the jar, and when everybody's finished
10
with it,
years
then
from
mine will
now.
come out. Yeah,
Yeah,
then mine will come out.
yeah.
So
Did you see that post I made on Quilting with Mary Beth the other day about the the unfinished quilt for 16 years?
yes, oh my gosh, I laugh.
I need to pull that one out and finish, and I
I
love
said
that quilt too.
I said, "Rod, Donna's got a quilt that's 16 years old and she's trying to finish." He went, "Oh my gosh,
Uh, oh, you gotta love Facebook.
it's so fun."
I don't know. That's
Oh,
funny.
funny. Yeah.
Um, is there any progress on your house at all or not?
No. In
Not till a
fact,
couple of weeks?
I Rod was saying yesterday, I think he's tells me these kind of things to freak me out, but he goes, Isaac's not really got anything going on. If he had our material, he could have started on our building." And I'm like, "Do I need to take him to a lumberyard somewhere?" And he is like, "No, you can't take him. He's gotta have it delivered." So, well, then don't talk about it
Yeah,
because I
get it
don't
done. Yeah, get
I
it
know
done.
it. Get it
So we,
done.
did I tell you the story about my doing my garden last week?
Yes.
I've got the new garden going, and so I
Okay.
have this deadline,
Uh-huh.
um, and I've still got a pile of mulch in my front garden that I need to distribute, but we did buy a wheelbarrow today, so I can it'll be easier now. I didn't have
Yeah,
one of
that
those.
helps. You would be surprised how much that helps.
So we went out, my friend Diane and I went out on Monday and bought our structures. So
Oh,
we got 6 green plants, no, and a little, cedary type tree, and what else? I bought 2 lattice trellises
okay.
and 2. clematis.
Oh, I love those. What color are
So,
they?
um, one kind of a purpley pink mix.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, so and I don't know about the other one, the other one doesn't have the other one's bigger,
Like
but doesn't have a flower on it.
yeah, so it's like a magenta color,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, mhm.
Yeah, okay.
So and that's behind my it's gonna be really pretty because it's behind my roses.
Okay.
But the story of the week is that we had our backyard hydro seeded, where the guy comes in and sprays it down with the green gook.
Oh, I see.
It's so the seed because we've got a berm back there that doesn't the seeds just kinda roll off of it, and so
Yeah.
we hydro seeded it, and so you have to keep the dogs off the
Oh, brother.
out of the backyard for, ever.
You have
It'll give
crazy
it
dogs,
I'll give it a couple of weeks and then it'll be go away. The
and they'll
so
have green feet.
Hey. So, um, that happened Monday morning, and, I told Ed, or I said we decided what we were gonna do. So Ed spent, I don't know, an hour out in the backyard or maybe more, and we have the green construction, like, fence, the kind of
Yeah, yeah.
the fence that you
Meshing
can
wire.
put up. Yeah, mhm.
Yeah.
So we have some of that we bought last year to try to, grow seed.
Mhm.
And so I said, "Well, let's just card off or par partition off the patio, and then they'll have a little space to the right that's grass so they can go out there, but they can't get out into the big yard." So he did that and everything, and the first night, everybody went outside and it was fine. And in the middle of the night, Thea, who never gets up, I mean, she goes to bed and she stays there, she was whining to go outside. So
Huh.
I get up. I mean, I was in the part of the sleep where you're still really, getting good sleep. And so I was having a hard time like standing up straight.
Right.
And so I let Thea out, and the first thing she does is jump over that fence into the yard.
Right.
Uh, so I was like, this is gonna be great. So we've got big old long leashes that they can go out in the front yard because Thea's not even gonna go out in the backyard because, she's special.
Yeah.
So she goes out in the front yard, but she doesn't wanna go off the porch. And Tucker will go out in the front yard, but if you have a ball, he'll be excited about it. He doesn't have to go on the leash. Vale doesn't
Hmm.
need to be on the leash, but Ivan does. So it's
Yeah.
it's just a
Oh
mess. They've
gosh.
got a huge mess and 4 dogs. It's been great.
Yes. In summertime and
Yeah, so
springtime with all the rain and
yeah, and then you have to water 42 times
yes.
a day,
Yeah.
but oh well.
Yeah. Such
Such
is
is
life.
life.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look, good thing I'm going out of town in a couple of weeks.
yes. 1 week. 1 week from Monday.
Well, that's more than a week. But yes.
There you go.
Uh,
Oh,
uh, oh well. I
yeah.
don't know. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Big story today is Paducah.
Paducah. That
Paducah.
is okay. Paducah is associated with the AQS,
AQS. Uh-huh.
American Quilting
Quilters.
Society.
Right. Yes.
American Quilters Society, and they have they it used to be there used to be a whole bunch of different quilt shows and everything, and now
Still
most
is.
of them, well, a lot of them have gone away.
Well,
But
AQS has Florida, Paducah,
Daytona,
Daytona,
Paducah,
yeah, Daytona, um, Mancuso,
Branson, right?
Branson, yeah.
Is Mancuso the one in Denver?
No, it's in somewhere.
Mancuso.
Yeah, it's in Mancuso. Oh my
It seems like
god.
there used to be a show in Denver, but I thought that's what they called it, but that may not be. I don't. Anyway,
Well, and maybe, a few years ago, they reduced down I mean, I don't know if they did, but all the shows kind of went and then kinda went away, and now we
yeah.
only have a few. So
but when they say Quilt Week, that's Paducah, right? Paducah is
Paducah,
Quilt Week. It's not
yeah.
Quilt Week in Daytona.
No,
It's just
Paducah's like
Paducah.
the grand poobah of the whole thing, I think, and, some of the winners of that one go into the, museum,
Okay.
from what I understand.
Okay. So this week is Paducah, and all you have to say as a quilter that you're going to Paducah, and everybody knows what you're talking about.
That's right.
Now, we, the smart ones that we are, we knew that all the quilters were going to be in Paducah for Quilt Week last week, and we, me, the social
And last
butterfly that I am, the social
last
butterfly that I
year
am,
yeah,
we decided that we were going to go the week after Paducah, and it was wonderful.
it was, except that we wanted to go to, what's that place for English paper piecing? Oh, it's called paper piecing, duh. So we wanted to go there, and they were closed
Yeah,
because I
because
think they were
yeah.
resting from Paducah. I don't know, or they were gone or something, so
And have you ever do you know anybody who's have you been to Paducah? You had a quilt in Paducah, didn't you?
yeah, a customer quilt went to Paducah. I was ecstatic.
Gosh,
Made me so
I'm
happy,
I'm depressed
and I'm the
now.
one that says, "I'm not a quilter." I guess that made me a quilter, I don't know. I
Yeah.
even called the day that I found out, I didn't know who to call. I was so excited and so wound up, and I ended up calling Dawn Cavanaugh, of all people, because
Oh, really?
she was my first teacher, so I thought, "Oh my gosh, I have to call somebody, I'm gonna call Dawn." So I called Dawn Cavanaugh, and later, she sent me a message and goes, "Oh my gosh, congratulations, I'm so sorry I missed your call, I was cleaning out my refrigerator," and I thought, "Oh."
Too funny. Too funny. Well, that's did you didn't happen to go during that time, did you?
No, I wish I could have, but I've never been during the show.
I don't I don't the only thing that I've ever heard is that it's so crowded that you really don't wanna be there.
Really.
I mean, that it's hard like, if you haven't already have a place booked,
You
a
know,
year ahead of time,
I
then
enjoyed
don't
last year because we got to go to everything. There was no crowds anywhere.
yeah, it was
No.
nice. It was
Yeah,
nice.
and the museum was nice. I love to see quilt museums, so that should be a topic of a show someday too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then well, this is the I don't even know what it's the Paducah Quilt Museum. Anyway, I was looking on the website today, and it said you can buy a multi-day pass to the museum, and I'm like, "Ha, I don't think I need to go back more than"
No,
wasn't
I
that
love them,
wasn't
but I can see it all in a day for
uh,
myself.
or an hour or
Yeah,
2.
like yeah, a couple hours, whatever, I'm done. But, I think it's called the National Quilt Museum.
There it is. That
Yeah,
sounds about right.
uh-huh.
As opposed to the International Quilt Museum, which is in Lincoln,
Is that
Nebraska.
what that is?
Yeah.
That's a great museum too, but let's don't talk about museums,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Another show.
So, and I thought that Paducah was like took over the whole city. Like there were multiple places to see quilts, but I think that that was just a figment of my imagination. And it's in a convention hall, so it's kind of
Like
like all the other quilts shows out there.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And this one I think is kind of well, I think Houston is probably royalty, but this one's pretty royal.
Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about that. I don't get it because I know Houston is International Quilt Festival, so that's gonna be around the world, and Paducah, I thought, was more localized to the United States, but some of the winners are from Japan, so I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, and there's always a lot of, um, especially Japan, isn't it? Is that where
Oh my
they're all
gosh.
from?
Wouldn't you
I
like
I
to
wonder,
go there and study?
um,
No,
that'd be well, I don't know, but I wonder if they have quilt shows over there
I
because they
don't
do
know.
amazing work.
I'm
There's some
telling you,
amazing stuff that comes out of
I
Japan.
know it. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Hmm.
There are 2
So
quilters going there. Who is it? Is going. I forget now. Uh, anyway, 2 quilters are going for, like, 10 days or something to Japan, and you get to, You get to go to a bunch of stuff to
Oh, that's
get and
interesting.
yeah. I thought,
Are
gosh,
are these 2 people, are these, like, known people or just 2 people you know?
no, 2 known people, and they're taking
A
a
tour?
tour, yeah,
Okay,
and they said they still had openings. I'm trying to think of their names. Uh, Gosh, I can't think of them right now. Should have wrote it down.
yeah.
Anyway,
So, one of the conversations that we had a few weeks ago were, w um, do the modern quilters participate in these shows? And, I sent out that reel the other day that showed those modern quilts. Those are beautiful quilts, and I think that the one that looked like a spot was actually one that was in at QuiltCon,
probably.
but, those
They're
were
just
gorgeous quilts.
yeah, their quilts, I think I'd like to go to QuiltCon, but uh, I don't have the eye for the artistry, you know what I mean? So to me, I look at it and I see exactly what's on the fabric, or exactly what's on the quilt, and other people see the movement and this and that, and I take things literally, I think,
Yeah.
or something. Yeah,
So, when you go to a quilt show, what speaks to you?
probably workmanship starts off. Maybe it's when I first see a quilt, of course, it's going to be the overall effect. But then I always get my nose up close, so I think workmanship is probably the thing that thrills me the most.
One of the things that I don't like about, and I don't know if this is in Houston now or not, but one of the things I didn't like about, Branson was the fact that they don't write anything about the quilt
Your
next to it.
kid.
You have to, like, get online and find it, and,
So
I
is
mean,
that
it
an AQS thing or
I
Branson?
I I think it's an AQS thing.
That's not right.
But then, I always love the, uh, descriptions of, what motivated the quilt,
Yeah,
which, you know,
yeah,
I'm sure some of them are good, but then there's also some that are so funny, it's
yeah, off the wall that crack you up, I know.
remember when we were in Houston the last time that we went, and I was sitting there making fun of what the person had said on on their, description of what motivated them or something, and we go to the next site, and the person's sitting there. Oops.
We love your quilt.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
that's gotten better with ChatGPT,
with
where you
what?
can with ChatGPT, you can, like, just put in, inspiration for red and white quilt, and it'll say come
Oh,
out with something really dreamy.
yeah, that
Hmm,
would be nice, wouldn't it?
we'll see.
Don't have to come up with anything, it'll come up with it for you.
Okay, so what else did you learn about Paducah?
Well, let me tell you, I'm just gonna bring up my little paper that I copied this information, oops, where'd it go? From the AQS website. So American Quilters Society. If you go there, you can see pretty much everything I've just said. But uh this it says their focus as a major quilt show within the American Quilters Society with a strong regional and local focus. So um it's large, but it's on a smaller scale than the International Quilt Festival of Houston, and it includes workshops and things. But what I found out was the history. So in 1983, which doesn't seem that long ago to me, I was thinking this has been around since the 40s or something, but no. 1983, Meredith and
Mm.
Bill Schroeder, that were avid collectors, thought they would just have a little quilt show in Bell Buckle, Tennessee, which is, it says it's barely a dot on the map, and they were going to have a national quilt show there. And over 400 quilts were hung for the show, and they didn't expect the thousands of people who poured out for the exhibit. So that got them started. And then the next year, they started AQS. And then the next year, in 1985, the first AQS show was held with contestants, and 5,000 people attended. So, and the rest is history.
That's a long time
So,
ago.
uh-huh. So in 2024, the American Quilter Society Paducah Quilt Week attracted an estimated over 20,000 attendees. So that's what we
That's
missed
what
out on.
that's why we go the week after.
That's right. It said it generates over $20 million in economic impact annually and sees at least 37,000 attendees.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that's huge. And it said, I tried to look up, and we can cover this one later too, but the Regional Quilt Festival of Kansas City
Mhm.
is the biggest quilt show in the Midwest, is what it said.
Really?
Isn't that weird? I just think it's
Um,
centrally located, if we did an international quilt show in Kansas City, I think it'd be great. Or a
well,
region or a, you know, countrywide, whatever, national.
right. Well, they've got AQS Branson. Is it you think if they moved the Branson to Kansas City, it would probably do better because you can actually
Better.
get there
Yeah.
easily.
Don't they have one in Des Moines? Don't they have an AQS of Des Moines? I think they do.
I don't think so.
Let me look.
Yeah.
I'll look that up while you're talking.
Okay. So Branson, I've been to Branson twice. I went, I guess, 3 years ago, and I went last year, and it wasn't worth and the the 3 years ago was 2022, so that was still, I think considered COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So there was hardly anything there, and last year I went, and I don't even know, there might have been a few more vendors, but it wasn't it takes me 4 hours at least to get to Branson,
Yeah, it
and
would.
so I mean, I spent my whole day driving, and I was there
Yeah.
literally for, like, an hour, so
Ugh.
it wasn't worth my time to go back.
Okay,
Um,
so here we are. Daytona, New England, which I don't know where that is. I mean, I know where New England is. I just don't know where the show is. Paducah, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Lancaster, PA.
okay, so they're all basically east of center.
East. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so this is our, official plea for them to move Branson to Kansas City.
I mean, come on. I know Branson has an airport, but Kansas City has a huge airport.
Well, and that was the reason kinda why, Machine Quilter Showcase went away is because they moved it to,
Wichita.
Wichita when yeah, and nothing against Wichita, but it's kind of
No.
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, nothing against Wichita, and I'm sure there's some fine things to do there in the off time, but nobody wanted to go to Wichita. Everybody liked Kansas City.
Yeah.
So it just and then they moved it from there to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That's the middle. No,
Ha
no offense, Cedar Rapids, but that's like a
we en
cornfield.
we enjoyed being in ya, but
Yeah, we were there. So,
how many years was it in Cedar Rapids, do you know? Was that only 1
like
year, or was it more than
1 or
that?
2, and then it went away completely. I don't even know if it was 2.
Yeah.
It was too bad.
And we've said this on here before, so we won't be offending anybody new,
Mm,
but we kind of like the local quilt show,
yeah,
almost better than the
upstairs. Yeah.
yeah, because well, that was a weird place because it was dark in the quilt room, and so it was
Oh,
just kind of dingy.
and you
There's
had
some,
to
incredible quilts, but it
and
was
the walk to get there, we parked in that parking garage, and then you had to walk through empty spaces, like, you remember that
yeah,
hallway? That was odd.
and the only thing I will never forget that wonderful smell from the, oats was a Quaker oat.
Oh, yeah,
Remember
Quaker Oat.
it smelled like um, the, Ice cream cones. The
Yeah,
waffle cones?
they make Cheerios there of all
Oh, really?
flavors, so
Mm.
yeah.
That was nice smelling.
Yeah, make you hungry when you'd walk outside.
Okay, so we'll get back to, Paducah.
Yeah.
I if you want to see the quilts,
Oh,
if you go to AQS online in, Instagram, and it probably has the same name on Facebook.
yeah.
They're not showing all the quilts, but they're definitely giving you a good purview of a lot
The
of the
winners.
winners or
Go to
second
A
places
yeah,
or whatever.
American Quilter Society on Facebook, so if you go there and please go there and look at them. Because did you see that triangle quilt?
I don't think so.
Oh, Donna.
What is it?
It's all triangles, um, and I counted 6 rows, 10 across, so 60 triangles made up of, I think it was 11 rows of tiny triangles. Like, each triangle was 11 rows of tiny triangles.
Um, when was that posted?
I'm gonna look here.
I did notice well, I just wanna say that I'm so upset that I missed
Oh,
last
really?
year, I think, that quilt that was made up of all the little teeny tiny, um, paper pieced log cabins. I
Oh,
mean, we're
yeah.
talking teeny tiny one
Tiny,
they were
yeah.
yeah, I really wanna see that quilt. I hope I get an opportunity to see that quilt.
Are you going to Houston?
Oh, in theory, always.
I know, me too. Let's see. Here it is. It's got a purple border around it, and then there are blues and greens for the triangle. It was posted 6 hours ago.
Oh,
Um, whew, it says "Try, Try Again" by Cheryl L. Seas of Daytona, Maryland. It was, Rowenta's it says to vote for it as the viewer's choice. Oh, it's so cool.
triangles, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's so cool. You guys will probably go, "Well, that's no big deal." But it looks like a big deal to me because when you zoom in on it and see how tiny those little triangles are, I mean, I'm thinking she had to use a toothpick and a pair of tweezers to get them suckers to lay flat.
Hmm. Tell me the name of it again?
Um, try, I think. Let me get back down to it.
Like, I don't see it.
Um, AQS Quilt Week. Try again.
Oh, I see it. It
2nd place.
I see it. Oh, those are little triangles, aren't they?
Yeah, if you zoom in on it, you'll see how tiny they are. And I sit
Oh,
here and tried to count lines, and I had to go down to uh, one of the lighter color ones. I couldn't do it in the green because that dark green at the top was too dark to really get a count. So I had to go down to one of the others to try to find a good one to count. And ugh, that's tiny.
cool.
Tiny.
So,
Tiny.
some of the things that I saw when I was looking, that Maryland Badger had a 1st place in
Oh,
large movable machine quilted. I
too
haven't seen
darn.
her out there in a while. I don't know.
Uh,
Um,
is that one? This one that I'm looking at right now is the first one I've seen. Uh,
Maryland Badger?
no, this one, "Flowers for My Sister Susie." That's a pretty one too, but it's all applique on a bright orange background.
And then, of course, Janet Stone won
Oh, yeah.
Best Stationary Machine Workmanship. I didn't realize that she does that stuff on a domestic machine or a
I
stationary
know.
machine.
I know, that's crazy. Oh, it's not crazy, it's talented.
Yeah.
I didn't see Marilyn's, but man, I always love her quilts.
This one has kind of a, um, Middle Eastern feel, if you ask me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, and it looked like, and I wish you could see the names without having to you
Yeah,
know,
click on everything
click
you
on
do.
everything.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, I bet this is it. No.
and there's a couple of dragons. I saw some dragons
Yeah.
in there. I thought that was interesting.
Mhm.
Anyway, if you ever get an opportunity to go to one of these things, they you just can just sit there and look at these quilts with your nose like 2 inches, don't touch it, but
You
with your
can't.
nose
Mm-mm.
with your
No.
nose 2 inches away from it and go, "Oh my gosh." It can be
Yeah.
very depressing because it can be very inspiring, but it also can be very depressing.
Well, I'm always so inspired when I see these and I think, "Why can't I do this?" You know? But, I mean, I've been sewing and doing this quilting for a long time, but I just feel like I'll never be to that quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just they're gifted.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. And
Yeah.
I also wanna say on quilt shows is that you can do these quilt shows and not take classes or anything like that and get a whole lot out of it. So if you're
Mhm.
saying, "Well, I don't I'm not gonna go because it's too expensive," um, I literally can fly in and fly out, first flight out in the morning and first last flight back in the evening, and I get my fill of quilts.
Yeah, cover it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I hear
So
people say, "Oh, it takes a day to go through the shopping area, and it takes another day to go through the quilts," and it doesn't for me. I can go through the quilts a couple of times even, and then when
yeah.
I go through to shop, of course, I've got everything I need, but I still like to go through and look, but the one thing about, like, some of the quilt shows have things that I am totally not interested in, like shoe inserts or chair massage, which I
Mm,
love, but I'm not gonna sit there and listen to their spiel. I'm there to see quilts, and
right.
that's it.
Yeah,
So,
and if you take a conservative view of going through the, um, the vendor hall as you're not you don't wanna be there to pick out fabric. You kinda
mm-mm.
wanna say, "Do I like that?" Right, if
Yeah,
you like if you see a pattern that you're a kit that you like, write down the pattern, and if you still want it at the end of the day, you can go back and pick it up.
right,
You don't have to you literally do not have to go into
right.
every vendor.
No.
Sorry, vendors.
Well,
Uh,
it's just how it is, sometimes money's tight for some people, and they don't
right.
have a budget to just blow on quilts or quilting stuff, and so I'm telling you, some of these booths, though, like the Fat Quarter Shop is like a candy store.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you walk up to that one, it is just beautiful, and they take up, like, 3 booths or so worth
Yeah.
of,
Big ones.
space, so you wanna go in there and look, and you probably wanna buy, but you don't have to,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
So you can do it and, stay away I was gonna I was gonna say stay away from the Martelli booth because they're gonna try to sell you something. That
Well,
don't mean that. It's just my
I know.
ah,
Well,
my
they all wanna
experience.
sell you something, but you will go and see tools you've never seen before or patterns you've never seen before, you're not familiar with. So it's fun to go and take a look at that stuff,
Yeah.
see what's out there that you haven't seen ever, like,
Right, and the more times you do it, the less there is new to see,
yeah,
so you kinda look at it through the eyes of somebody who's been there, 20 times and say, "Ah, that's not new.
right. Or you
I've
have to
got
think
that.
about too. You need to
Got
think
that."
about too, how much luggage can you take on that plane and,
So,
you know,
will they ship it to you?
yeah, can you ship it? Yeah. So that's always
Yeah,
something to think about.
yeah, yeah, take an extra suitcase. No,
Yeah, pack a suitcase and put it in a bigger suitcase so you've got one to bring home with all your
oh, that's
stuff
true,
and
that's true, but don't buy anything because you really don't need it.
right.
If you really need something, I've got a Sophia to sell
And
you.
yeah, no, you don't. You're gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
We got this. I'm just not
Uh,
I'm just in a I don't know. I'm just maybe in a funk. I don't know. I don't want to sew right now. And I hear all these people say, "Oh, if I can't sew every day, I am just a mess." And I thought, there are days like yesterday, I came in here and I thought, "Okay, I've got them unzipped finally. I'm going to do this, and I got it all set up. And then I start trying to match the thread, and the thread that they use is a different company than what I have. And I've tried to buy a variety of different colors so that I have, two or three of different shades, so I can get something done. Anyway, the numbers were not matching up with, like, I took a conversion chart and I looked at several. The numbers on the conversion chart did not match the numbers on the pattern that it said they were using that color. I'm like, "What in the world?" So I couldn't match my thread. So then I gave up and thought, "Okay, instead of doing these little birds, I'm gonna do chickens," because there was another pattern I printed off that was
Oh,
chickens. So it was only 2 colors of red. So I go over there and I get it all set up. I put my hoop in, and I had hooped it for the bluebirds. The chickens required a bigger hoop. So then my my hopping foot ran into the hoop and I was going, "Stop!" So I got that stopped and said, "Never mind, we're done for the day."
and then you didn't go back down today.
No, I haven't even looked at it. Oh, well, I'm looking at it now, but I don't want to look at it. So maybe tomorrow. But it's a wedding present,
Aw,
for my neighbor. So I'm trying to get them done. And she's, the Amish are a little old fashioned, and I thought she'd like those little birds on a
yeah.
tea towel. So
That's fun, and so you've got a little
yeah,
while before it's due.
yeah, a couple.
But
Yeah.
just work on it now because that time will run out on you.
I
That's for
know, and I
sure.
don't want to be at the last minute trying to rush through it, so I'm going to work on it. Tomorrow is Lois's last day at the shop. So I'm going to go say bye to her
So that'll be the
um,
3rd time you've been there this week.
yeah, second, but who's counting? I didn't buy anything yesterday though. They just helped me with my little USB stick and I left.
That's good.
So, but I am the big winner of that um fat quarter. So, I got to get that tomorrow when I go in, and so
You're gonna be able to pick up another month of stuff for me.
I don't know what is the date. 25th. We might be able to. She might have them ready. I'll
Well,
ask
they'll
her.
be ready by the 1st, huh? At least.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that means I have to go back in.
She'll hold that
That
other stuff for you.
puts me in trouble. I know, but I want to say goodbye to Lois. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
yeah,
oh, well.
we
That's
compared
important.
we compared stories yesterday.
About what?
Kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
So
Cool.
daughters are fun.
What's fun?
Daughters.
Oh, oh,
Mother daughters are fun.
yeah.
So anyway,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, this has been kind of a, like we said, it's been kind of a down week for us. Haven't gotten a lot done, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, sometimes that happens. We'll get back on it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking retreat. I just keep thinking retreat. Every time I sit down here, I start thinking, oh, I don't want to forget to pack that, and so I've got my little wagon's full right now. And I
Yeah.
haven't even packed the stuff I really need, like rulers and cutting
Yeah.
mats and all
Well, I
that.
haven't unpacked from the last trip, so I'm good.
You are.
Mm. Okay. Well, it's been a great fun, Mary Beth.
Yep. Go to those quilt shows, ladies. It's fun times.
Yes, and you know what? That's the best opportunity to get inspired and to see some amazing workmanship.
Mhm.
And if you're like Mary Beth, you'll find somebody you know.
Probably.
Okay. We'll see you
Okay.
next week.
Okay. Bye.
That's all we have today. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you next time.